Good morning. It's May 10th, and it's Deacon Don with you for just a few minutes again. If I was to name this reflection, I would call it, Do We Let Jesus Into Our Lives? Let me explain. There's a reading from the Acts of the Apostles in today's Mass that I found interesting because there was a person that was mentioned in it that you never have heard before. And perhaps she's even a bit obscure. You see, the Acts of the Apostles were written by St. Luke, who was an avid follower of St. Paul. So this part of Scripture describes Paul's journey and Luke being with him and what they've experienced and who they meet. Well, they meet a woman named Lydia, and she's noted in Scripture as that she sells purple cloth. I guess she says it's a dealer in purple cloth. And that sort of piqued my interest. And I said, what does that mean? And I looked it up. And they're not sure whether she was a purveyor of dye, to dye cloth purple, or whether she actually was a seller of textiles. But either way, it doesn't matter, because she was a successful businesswoman, which was odd for that time. She must have been somewhat special, her own mind strong, and she was also a strong believer in Jesus Christ. So when Paul was having some issues in where he was and where Lydia was, she invited Paul and the followers into her home. She embraced Paul, but because she was a believer in Jesus Christ, she embraced Jesus into her home and shared her home. There's a painting that was painted by an artist named William Holman Hunt. This artist lived between 1827 and 1910, so it's a while back, but not too far back. And he painted what became to be a very popular picture. You may or may not have ever seen his picture because it was reproduced by other artists as well. And it's a picture of Jesus Christ coming to a door and knocking on the door, obviously asking to come in. But the problem is that there's no handle on the door. It's this picture, you see. There's no handle on the door, so he can't open it. The symbol, obviously, is that he knocks asking to enter, but only you or whoever's on the other side can open it and let them in, into their hearts and into their homes. It's a pretty powerful picture, and it makes us think, what do we do? Can we say yes and open up that door and let Jesus into our home and into our hearts? Now, I'm sure all of us at one time or another said, Jesus, yes, please come into my life. And that's really wonderful. But you have to also understand that we have struggles through our lives every single day. I recently had one that disturbed me a great deal, and I accidentally hurt someone that I didn't mean to hurt. And it troubled me. And I realized I was trying to deal with this all by myself. And I can't. So I learned this weekend that I needed to open up my heart and let Jesus enter into me, because I knew he was trying to get to me. But I wouldn't open the door because I couldn't see the door. I was doing it all by myself. And that doesn't work. Brothers and sisters, I realize, and I hope you realize, that Jesus calls us every single day to deal with the problems that we have every single day. So we can't just open that door once in our lives or twice in our lives and expect, oh, everything's fine. We have to open that door of our heart and our lives every time we need him, which is often. Revelation, I think it's chapter 3, verse 20, says this of Jesus. It says, "Here I am. I stand at the door and I knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will enter your house and eat with that person, and they with me." It's pretty powerful because you see, Jesus always calls us, but sometimes we're so wrapped up in our lives, in our difficulties, that we fail to realize he wants to come in and help us. Brothers and sisters, in 2 weeks, a little bit less now, we will be experiencing the beautiful feast of Pentecost, where Jesus came and did some marvelous things, not only for the apostles, but for the whole world. Are we ready to be able to open that door for him? Think this week and next week of those situations where Jesus is trying to get to us and we're just not listening. And it's not because we're bad. Sometimes we just are so busy and so distracted that we just don't realize what he's trying to do for us. Brothers and sisters, think about that. Let him into your heart. Let him into your lives. And it makes a huge difference for you. Have a great day.